Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to this video. It's been a while. I actually didn't make any videos on my YouTube. The reason is simply because Diablo 4 is actually freaking amazing, and we did play a lot of it during the last days, and now that I am level 100, now it is time to talk about the game and what are the pros and cons, and I'm gonna go over a lot of things. I'm gonna tell you right now there's gonna be spoilers, so if you don't want to hear any spoilers, I'm gonna put timestamps in the description where you can basically just skip the campaign part. So yeah, let's go ahead. And yeah, basically I didn't do any YouTube videos for the past like 13 days, but the content that we did was on Twitch. So if you guys like wants to drop a follow or something on my Twitch, the link will be also in the description. And yeah, I feel like that's gonna be also the type of content that I'm gonna do right now more than the content that I used to do. I'm gonna be really honest with you. The format of videos that I used to do, um, each videos takes between 6 and 10 hours of editing, because I have to go over like 10 hours of footage to go like edit, like clip and fade every perfect moment in the video and stuff. Not that I'm never gonna do that type of video again, but I want to switch more to this kind of format, where I just sit there for 20 minutes, talk to you, and yeah, that's what I'm gonna do for the next weeks for sure, to get back into making videos. And yeah, if you guys are new to the channel, welcome. Just make sure to hit subscribe, and if you guys want to go check my Twitch, we're live almost every day except on Sundays, but we've been streaming on Sundays too during the last actually since Diablo 4 dropped. So yeah, let's go ahead and let's talk about the game. Is Diablo 4 a good game? Dude, it is an amazing game. I liked every second that I've been playing the game, but is it the perfect game? I would like to say yes, but it is not. I don't want this video to turn into a political conversation. Honestly, I don't give a fuck if you think it's bad. I don't care if you think that it's a good, like, we can have different opinions. Some people prefer a certain game like Diablo 2, some people prefer like Diablo 4, and I don't want the Diablo 4 videos to turn into like political conversations, okay? Like, I don't really care if, like, I just don't care at this point, okay? So let's go ahead and talk about some points that I got on my notepad right here. So let's start with the first point: character customization. In the pros, I did put most ARPGs don't even offer character customization. Diablo 4 does. That, to me, is a big pro. Most games like Last Epoch, Path of Exile, Diablo 2, and like most ARPGs, I think even Torchlight, they don't even have character customization. In Diablo 4, there's character customization, so that is super awesome to me. A lot of skin tones and high color. Yeah, you have a lot of choice for that. That is awesome. A lot of hairstyles and facial hair. But I could see more added in the game. I feel like it's getting a little bit redundant. There's like maybe 14, 11, 14, 14, I think, choices of hair and facial hair. It's alright, but anyway, all my characters are bald with a mustache. So to me, it doesn't change anything, but I could see more added in the game for sure. There's a lot of makeup and jewelry and marking options, but again, I could see more. But yeah, there's a lot of options, so that's cool. In the cons, I did put more face variation. All classes got only 4 variations, so that can be a little bit redundant. So yeah, more of that could be good. It's actually the only con point in my character customization. In the I don't know, more body types. Who knows? Maybe some people wants to play a fatty necromancer. Maybe some people wants to play a skinny barbarian. I could see more body type, and a lot of people were actually in my chat. They were like, "Hey, it would be nice if I could be like a slim barbarian and all that stuff." So yeah, maybe in the future they will add more body types. Let's talk about the campaign. I'm gonna go over the pros first, and by the way, there's gonna be some spoilers. So if you want to skip this, maybe skip to what's the next point? The leveling experience. So maybe skip campaign so you don't get spoiled. But I'm gonna go over some spoilers. So the campaign in the pros, it is super immersive. Honestly, I enjoyed every second of what I did during the campaign. It was super great. I loved everything. I listened to everything. Normally, I never listen to the story or characters or voice acting or whatever. I normally don't really care about that. But in Diablo 4, they nailed it to perfection. I was really, really impressed by the immersive part of the campaign. The other point is I would do it again in the future, but I appreciate the skip campaign button. Like I said, I know that later in the future, I'm gonna log in Diablo 4 and I will want to just start a character and actually listen to the campaign again. Maybe there's some parts that I didn't get. Maybe, you know, it's like often like this when you listen to a series or something like that and you just listen to it again. It's like Death Note. I've been listening to Death Note for like I think 13th time right now, and like, okay, after the 10th time I was like, okay, I get all the anime, but after many times, every times that I listened back to Death Note, I was like, oh, dude, I didn't actually got that point the last time and all that stuff. So I think that's gonna be the same for Diablo 4. I would do it again in the future, but I do appreciate the skip campaign button. A lot of great cinematics for sure, especially, that is a spoiler, especially the Enarius one entering in hell, aka the extended in-game version. Oh my fucking god, it was just so fun. I have shivers or goosebumps right now, whatever you call it. Like when I was like PogChamp, jaw dropped all the time when I listened to this cinematic, especially the end. I was like, what is happening? By the way, I think Lilith is the good person in here. Yeah, I think Lilith is the good person in there for sure. That man, I just, the way it ended, I was like, it's cool because we know that future expansions will probably have like Mephisto, Diablo, and all those prime evils in the campaign. But the way that Diablo 4 ended, the version that we're playing right now, I was like, man, I want to see more. So yeah, a lot of great cinematics. I was really impressed by everything that I saw there. It was really good. In the cons, it can be a little bit tedious later in the campaign. I'm gonna give the Mischief's example. I actually enjoyed seeing Mischief again, and he thought that Lorath was actually the card cane, and like just this little something they added in the game, and like there's a little bit of nostalgia, you know, it's the good old Mischief from Diablo 2, and we see him again in Diablo 4. It's cool. I really liked it, and yeah, but there was like, if I that part in the desert where we escort him with the camel and we just stop every places and all that stuff, and there's like some places that can be a little bit tedious like this, but overall it's just like certain parts that were a little bit slower, but it's not really of a big deal, right? The last point in cons, that is, I thought it was really, really good. Well, not good, but it was really nice to see a high definition of Endurial and Durial. It was really nice, but I don't really get it. Like, yeah, they were summoning the lesser evil the Lesser Evil's back, but for what I thought it was more of like salvaging old content for like as you can see it, salvaging old content for it's like it was cool when I saw Endurial. I was like, dude, that's so cool. And Duriel too, and Duriel especially. I like the first phase when you see like her like attached to the thing. I don't know what it's called. And like the second phase, it's like she's transforming into the normal version of Endurial, and I thought it was cool. But also, I thought it was like salvaging old content for that oomph effect. It was alright overall, I guess, but I did put it in cons. To me, it was a little bit of salvaging. In the I don't know, yeah, maybe unlocking the horse earlier would be a bigger quality of life feature. You unlock the horse at the beginning of Act 4 out of 6 acts. So for that, it's not of a big deal, but I would see maybe at the beginning of Act 2, maybe Act 3, that would be super nice because the horse is cool. It's a big quality of life, and I definitely could see the mount being unlocked earlier. Yeah, but we will talk about the horse a little bit later. Yeah, there's a lot of pros and cons about it, but in the camping version, maybe unlocking the horse earlier could be nice. The leveling. Let's talk about the leveling. 1 to 50 feels amazing. Honestly, the pace is great. Yeah, you can do dungeons, open world stuff while doing the camping, and everything feels like a charm. I really enjoyed the 1 to 50 part. Honestly, yeah, it's the pace is great. Constant progression. Yeah, constant progression even with scaling. Yeah, you can feel sometimes you feel weaker, but to me it's all right. It's part of the challenge. I know that a lot of people were talking about scaling in game. Some seems to don't really like it. Me personally, I like it because I can play with players at level 20 while being level 100, and we can actually play together. That's cool. Some people prefer the hey yo, I'm level 100 and I can just one shot everything and it doesn't scale, like a little bit like in Diablo 2. You know, if you're like level 90 and you go in nightmare or normal, it's like you one shot everything. Some people prefer this way. Me personally, I don't care, and I think that scaling is a good thing. Sorry. After the campaign, around 45, you can do the capstone dungeon to unlock Word Tier 3 and go level in there. Let's talk about Word Tier 3. To me, yeah, I'm gonna read my points here. Word Tier 3 feels like an introduction to more stuff, like unique items, augmented difficulty, sacred items, hell tides, and damage resistance aura monsters can appear. So you get introduced in Word Tier 3 to more stuff, like we just did read there. It's cool, but I would see actually more density in Word Tier 3. That could be really nice. It's really low compared to Word Tier 4. Word Tier 3 feels like it should be reworked. Most people are doing Word Tier 3 capstone at level 60, 65 to jump in Word Tier 4. So starting at level 60, 65, the end game is just really spamming dungeons if you want to level faster, but you can do in open world. At this point, I don't know what it is, but let's talk about Word Tier 3. The thing is, like, when you do the campaign and you do your capstone dungeon after the campaign at around like 45, you go in Word Tier 3, and this feels like the first wall you encounter in the game, and I feel like it's a really gray zone between like the campaign and that little part that you do in Word Tier 3 to go in Word Tier 4, which is the end game at the moment. I feel like the leveling is really slow in Word Tier 3. It takes a while before you actually reach level 60, 65 to do the capstone dungeon to unlock Word Tier 4. But Word Tier 3 is like, it's an introduction, but at the same time, I would see this Word Tier being reworked. Sorry. If they do that, that would be really amazing. So yeah, for sure that would be really nice. In the living, we're still in the leveling, and more experience. Yeah, and more experience, diversity in open world. I feel like it's always the same events, it's always like the same small things. I would like, let's say that there's I don't know, man, a goblin or a pack of goblins spawned at this point, and everyone can see it in the map, and everyone jumps in there to chase the goblins. Or you know, they could add a little bit more diversity with great experience reward. Because the experience, I feel like spamming dungeons is still the meta at the moment, though. I think last night they did nerf the elite density in Champions Demise. I'm not like, the reality is, guys, everyone that is level 100 right now did spam Champions Demise and Ruins of Eridu and couple other dungeons. I don't remember the name, but especially Champions Demise, doing 4 players split farming in there, just killing all the packs, leave game, rinse and repeat, do that for like many levels, many hours. And yeah, so the experience in dungeons is great, but maybe more experience diversity in open world could be awesome. Not everyone likes to spam dungeons for 15 hours every day until they reach level 100. It's completely understandable, so more diversity would be really nice in open world. More events, more types of events for sure. Legion events are way too easy, and word bosses too. It should scale. Honestly, Legion events are super great, but you kill all the bosses at the end in like 4 seconds. It's like even the word bosses during the betas, when you would fight Ashava, it took like 8-10 minutes. It felt like a really, it felt like a real word boss. Right now you can kill a word boss in like 2 minutes. So I think it should scale based on what, that I don't know, maybe the item power of all the players around that. I don't know, I'm not really a game developer, but it should scale to a certain degree for sure, because those events are really nice, but they're so easy. So that is a little bit scuffed, I would say. So yeah, maybe they should rework the scaling on Legion events and word bosses. And I did actually I did write dungeon spam, dungeon spam, dungeon spam, dungeon spam, dungeon spam. From level 70 to 100, I did Champions Demise over and over and over and over and over and over again, split farming. It was me personally, I like it. I like degenerate grinding like this. I don't mind it. I really don't mind it. But like 95% of players don't like that. So maybe with the fix that they did last night, maybe it's actually gonna be a little bit better. There's way less elite packs in the game. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see about that. We will actually see what's the meta in the first season. So yeah, let's talk about the music. Honestly, I have nothing to say. I'm standing in Joycool. I don't know what it's called in English. But like it's Gyakul. Gyakul. Basically, every places in the game are, I like it. I like standing in every places, every towns, because the music, the ambience, everything feels alright. I've seen the Mr. Lama video that he did, like, I think, but a 3.5 out of 10. It's his opinion, and I completely agree with it. Not agree, but I completely respect his opinion, but I really disagree on that, because to me, and by the way, like I said, it's not a political conversation. We can have different opinions, and we live in a world where everyone has different opinions, so let's just accept each other's like this, right? That's the best solution. The music to me is a big 10 out of 10 for me. It's just so good. Every places, I like listening to music. I don't even listen to music on the side, or I barely put a Twitch stream on the side like I used to in other games. I just like playing Diablo 4 with the music on. Big 10-10 for me. The mounts. Let's talk about the mounts. Pros and cons. Let's start with the pros. You can drop skins in game. Many of them actually. So that is super awesome. I dropped many skins and many trophies. It's super nice. I like it. It's a big quality of life, but let's go in the cons. It can feel clunky as hell. If you've been like playing with your mount, I'm pretty sure you know what I mean here. Sometimes it's clunky when it's full speed and everything is alright and there's no barricades. It feels great, but like most of the time it feels a little bit clunky. It gets stuck into enemies, so you gotta keep a charge to pass through them. So that is the way I learned to play with the mount. Basically, there's 3 charges. So I always keep at least one. So if I encounter an enemy pack, I just press my charge and I can pass through them. If I don't have any charges left, my mount just stops at the enemy pack, and from this point I either engage the enemies or my horse gets feared. So yeah, the charge doesn't last super long. Sure, maybe it could last a little bit longer. Remove the cooldown. Honestly, there's no point in removing the cooldown. When the horse gets feared, yeah, for sure, a cooldown there. I can see it. It's like punishing you for not how can I say it? It's punishing you for the right reasons. Let's put it that way. That for sure. But like when you're not in combat, the cooldown is a little bit too much. So removing the cooldown would be a really nice thing. Remove the cooldown of the class ability that you get on your horse. Every classes gets a dismount ability. This honestly, sometimes I'm walking, okay, sometimes I'm just walking in there, okay, and I just press my mount, and I would like that it's like in Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2, by the way, has the best mount system ever, and it's just so mwah. And I think they should do that in Diablo 4. Is like as soon as you mount up, that there's no cooldown on this ability. So you walk in there, and let's say that there's a pack here, you can mount and then engage right away. This would be a big quality of life. So removing the cooldown of the mount, keep it for when your horse gets feared for sure, but remove the cooldown, and remove the cooldown for this ability to when you mount up. That would be super nice. Oh yeah, if you put your cursor close to you, the horse will walk. If you put it far, the horse will run. So in your strain, if you're going south or north, you will actually go less faster than if you're going east or west. So as you can see, if I put my cursor super near, my horse is actually walking. If I put my cursor further, my mount will go faster. So sometimes when you're going south and there's like some barricades or anything, sometimes like you're actually you're getting you're getting wrecked by the cursor right here. Maybe they should add like a walk button, something like that, maybe on numlock or whatever, but I think they should really remove the close cursor thing, and just it's the same speed all the time. If you want to do some RP, just press a button and that's it. That would be really nice for the mount. After that, so yeah, that's it for the mounts. It's a big quality of life. It's cool, but many things could be reworked or removed, like the cooldowns, and that would be super amazing. Boss fights, more harder fights would be nice, like the Echo of Lilith. I think people are really enjoying the difficulty of Echo of Lilith right now. I've seen like Rax did many hours of tries yesterday. I don't know if he killed it. I had to actually quit. I had to go to bed before he maybe did it. But yeah, I think the fight is super cool, and that type of fights is something that a lot of players are looking into in ARPGs, especially like Path of Exiles players. I'm personally, I did play a little bit of PoE, but not that much. But from my understanding, they have amazing fights in there, and yeah, more fights like this could be really nice in Diablo 4. Paragon boards, they're super nice, actually way more nice than I thought it would. I like it, yep. Add a detach button where it calculates every nodes and you can just pay the full price to remove the board instead of removing every single nodes. It is pretty self-explanatory. If you go in your Paragon board and you want to detach this board, you cannot do it. You must refund all nodes, so you have to refund each one of them to remove this board. This to me is really, really, really annoying, and I think they should do the same for skills. Actually, let's say that you want to rework like the basic and core skills. Sometimes like it's gonna put a message where you can't actually do it because like it calculates everything, like it calculates everything. So I think it should like they should add some calculation systems that says, yeah, you can remove the skills to put it in like frenzy and this, because in here it's okay for you to have this skill and this skill. I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about. It's I'm not gonna go too deep into that, but yeah, I'm pretty sure you get what I'm saying there. So a detach button for Paragon, so it calculates every nodes, and same for the skills. That would be super nice. Let's talk about Nightmare Dungeons. It's cool, but it's like every ARPG's endgame. You spam dungeon. That's it. Like, I would like to tell you, dude, the Nightmare Dungeons are super great, but I would lie to you right now, unfortunately. And yeah, Nightmare Dungeons are cool. They're super useful to level your glyphs, and they're super great for challenges too. Yeah, key affixes are cool, but feels like G-Riffs in Diablo 3. To me, it feels a little bit like this. Pretty sure it's gonna be better in the future because honestly, let's be honest, they're really listening to the community right now, and people are giving feedbacks. And I think that with feedbacks, we will actually make Diablo 4 a better game. So let's keep spreading the words about feedbacks and stuff. So yeah, that's super important. Useful to level up your glyphs. Useful for great challenges for sure. But that's it. Nothing else. Nothing else to add to Nightmare Dungeons. They're cool, but yeah, it's after all, it's dungeons with affixes. Dungeons in general. All right. I like them. I've done almost all of them. I'm missing only 7 at the moment. I've done all my renown for like the skill points. So as you can see, I'm level like 100 right now. And basically I did all my renown. And basically what I did is one great thing that you can do to boost up your last renown is really discover everything, have all the waypoints, all the strongholds, all the side dungeons, and all the altars, and then you can finish up with the side quests. Altars of Lilith are super, super important. Unlock them in every zones. They give permanent stats, paragon points, so just prioritize your Altars of Lilith all the time. After that, you can actually just discover places, side dungeons, waypoints, strongholds. They give a ton of renown. So yeah, let's go back in there. So for the dungeons, like I said, I'm missing only 7. I like the diversity between every zone. So from Fractured Peaks to Kyrgyzstan, from Kyrgyzstan to Arazar, I think they all have a little something added into the dungeons. But there's a couple points that I would like to see changed. Remove the slay all enemies. It's just so boring. Honestly, it is boring. I see that all the time. It's just, I don't know. Mr. Lama gave the example of like it's a Den of Evil 2.0 in every dungeons, or almost all the dungeons. So I would just simply remove it and add more mechanics at this point. It's just boring to me. More mechanic diversity would be really nice. At the end, it was like, okay. At the end, I was just spamming dungeons for renown, and it was really okay. Kill all the things to go grab the thing and put it in the thing, and go grab the other thing to put it in the second thing and kill the big thing. Rinse and repeat 100 times. It's always ting, 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 ting. It's always the same thing all the time. More diversity will be really nice, to be honest. But after all, I think they're great. Dungeons, to me, I still enjoy it. The game has been released for actually almost 2 weeks already. Almost 2 weeks. So yeah, after almost 2 weeks, I'm still enjoying the game. But in a month, I'm probably gonna be like, okay, man, like I'm waiting for season 1, maybe something like that. So yeah, dungeons are great, but after all, more diversity in dungeons could be really nice. Itemization, let's talk about it. It's okay. Let's read it. It's okay, but I feel like it could be a little bit better. All classes feels like they're going for the same stats. Most items that you drop are useless, but good for gold, and gold is actually super valuable in the game, so that counters the fact that most items are useless. It's a plus for it's a minus for a plus. I don't know what's how you can call it in English, but I think it's all right. Some people would like to see like a loot filter. Personally, I maybe there could be a loot filter. Personally, I like to just get like just pick everything and sell everything, and gold to me is super valuable, right? So I just like it. But there's a couple cons into itemization. I would like to see the legendary ancestral items more rare and actually makes you reconsider the weapons in your hands. 98% of what I drop is I do a quick check on every items, and 98% of them I'm just selling it, and it's really hard at this point to find an upgrade. Especially the legendary ancestral items. I feel like they should be a little bit more rare, and that when you pick one, the stats are so great that you really reconsider, maybe I could drop like this all stats for maybe vulnerable damage, and do I have at least 2 or 3 stats of the 4 stats that I want? Yeah, no, then I can sell it, which is at the moment 98% of the time. But when I have like an item that has like 3 of the stats that I want, I'm like, oh, nice. Okay, now it's time to reconsider it, but it's really rare, and I think this should happen more often. It's nice to actually get an upgrade or reconsider your gear and see what you can do with your items. Rerolling scales way too quick. I spent 60 millions on a sword to get a stat I didn't get. Maybe it should be scaled down a little bit. I'm talking about this sword right here. I found this one. I was super excited. Big crit strike damage on the base weapon, on the other stats. Big damage to close enemies, core skills since I'm Whirlwind, but I was rerolling the strength for vulnerable damage and couldn't get it, and now the next reroll is 12.5 million gold. I did spend 60 million to try to get vulnerable damage. Maybe it should be a little bit scaled down. So yeah, if you have any ideas, by the way, guys, just put them in the comment below, and I'm reading pretty much every comment, so I would like to hear your feedbacks too, for sure. Big changes, and let's end with those points. So big changes, quality of life that needs to be added in the game. A gem bag, seriously. My gameplay went from 0 to 100% more fun when I stopped picking gems near the end game because I didn't need them anymore. A gem bag would actually be a big quality of life. Now I'm not picking gems anymore because I have like maybe 50 royal gems of every type of like rubies, emerald, topaz, skulls, and all that stuff. So I don't pick the gems anymore, and honestly, my gameplay went from 0 to 100. When I was picking up gems, it was taking like a third of my inventory space, and now that I don't pick gems anymore, now it feels great. Now it feels like I can pick more items, take a break after 2 or 3 dungeons, go sell, and like instead of like taking three breaks in one dungeon to go sell because you keep your gems, and everyone is asking for a gem bag right now. So seriously, they should really add this to the game. Everyone is like, yes, please add this to the game. So yeah, I think it's a general opinion that the gem bag should seriously be added in the game. More stash tabs. I'm actually, man, if you're a big hoarder like me, 4 stash tabs is not enough. Also, it's a shared stash between all characters. I think with more stash tabs, we don't need separate like a non-shared stash between characters if we have more stash tabs, but definitely we need more stash tabs. Put it infinite, like people likes to have space and keep things, and even if they're not gonna, if you're like me and you're, oh man, maybe I can do a build with this item, and like you're not gonna make a build with this item, but you just keep the item because you like it. It's like right now my stash is super clean, but I have to really be super careful about what I keep and what I sell. But yeah, 4 stash tabs is not enough. A search bar in the stash, please. And actually everywhere, like in the skill tree and Paragon board, keywords are great, but it is not as efficient as a search bar. Let's be honest. Is there a stash near here? Yeah, it's actually just right here. By the way, I like this town. I really like this town. Um, so my stash tab right now, this is like my normal stash tab that I use. This is like for my gems. This is for my extracts, right? Those are like all perfect ones that I keep. And yeah, that's it. So it's like 4 stash tabs. I don't know, man. It feels a little bit scuffed, and also a search would be so nice. And also in the skill tree, keyword search is nice, but it is not as efficient as a search bar. Same thing in Paragons. Where is the search bar? Add this in the stash skill tree and Paragon boards. Sorry. So that would be really amazing. A lot of conversations about too much CC in the game. I personally feel like it's okay. Let me explain why. It's because I play a Whirlwind Barbarian and I have massive cooldown reduction on my shouts. That is why. If I play my Sorcerer, I completely agree with you. Now, to be honest, I will let the pros talk about this aspect of the game. Personally, I think they should not lower the CC from the monsters, but they should give more options to the players in their skill tree to counter the CC. Um, yeah, more tools in the toolbox could be better than removing CC from the monsters. Definitely, that is my opinion on it. Um, yeah, the shop. It is extremely expensive. I thought I was actually expecting an armor set to be $10. It is actually $30. It is insanely pricey. I'm not gonna lie, I did spend I did spend couple yeah, I did spend in the game and bought many sets because I just like it. I'm a big sucker for fashions. I come from a game called Guild Wars 2 and is also called Fashion Wars 2, and with great fashion comes great responsibility. But no, for real, I just like fashion. I like sets, and like, dude, I know that the shop is resetting in like a 1 day and 1 hour at this point. 0 hour 1 day. I'm waiting for the next set to be there and just spend, like, I just like it. That's it, man. But it is way too expensive. They should lower the price for real. $30 for a set. It's incredibly pricey. So let's go with the overall of the game. I think that Diablo 4 is a really good game. I was waiting to be level 100 before making a Diablo 4 video. It took a little bit longer than I thought it would. If I knew a little bit earlier about Champions Demise split farming, I would have been level 100 way quicker. But I enjoyed the journey. And when I say the journey, I think that is what Diablo 4 is for. I think they took it from like Diablo 2 and I actually really enjoy it. When you start a ladder in Diablo 2, most people were not rushing to level 100 and they were enjoying the game, and you could finish the ladder season at level 92, 94, 95, 89, something like that, and could still have fun and have a working build going on. I think that's the same for Diablo 4. Diablo 4 is not you rush all your levels to then do the end game. The end game is included in the leveling process, and this is something that I really enjoyed the game. And I was a little bit scared about being burnt out like every seasons, but I think that I changed my perspective on how I see the upcoming ladder seasons. Is that I'm just gonna enjoy the game. Am I gonna reach level 100 all the time? I don't know. Maybe the first one, maybe the first two. But am I gonna do that all the time? It depends. It's like in Diablo 2, I actually never reached level 99 in Diablo 2. I was almost like the max level that I did reach was 97, and I enjoyed every second in Diablo 2. So I think my approach in Diablo 4 will pretty much be the same. I think it's a it's a really good game. I enjoyed every seconds of it, and after this video I'm gonna be playing some Diablo 4. I still need to actually upgrade my glyphs. Not all of them are level 15. So I need to level up all my glyphs to actually push a little bit higher in Nightmare Dungeons, but there is no rush. That is what I like about Diablo 4. It's all gonna be about fun and the journey, and I met so many people already in game. Like in Champions Demise split farming, I met so many people that we're playing together. Right now we're doing Nightmare Dungeons. There's a guy, a dude like living in the same country as I do. We talk about many things, and like I just enjoy the journey, and I think this is what Diablo 4 is about. It's playing a fun build, enjoying the journey, and that's it. So thank you everyone who was here. That was super appreciated. Sorry that took actually 13 days before the second video. And well, the second video, not the second video, but actually the first Diablo 4 video after the release. So thank you everyone who was here. That was super appreciated. And on that, talk to you later. Peace.